In a covert research facility hidden in Korea, scientists subject dogs to horrific trials, hoping to convert them into tools of warfare. This initiative is classified under the codename Project Silence. Concurrently, in the Department of Security, Secretary Young discreetly hands Deputy Director Cha extra funds, a token of gratitude for backing his political aspirations. Later, Cha returns home to find his daughter, Kyungmin, preparing for her journey abroad. She carefully packs a cherished book that once belonged to her late mother, but Cha scolds her for adding unnecessary weight. Upset, Kyungmin reminds him that it's the last remaining copy before storming off to her room. That evening, Cha drives Kyungmin to the airport, but they stop at a gas station on the way. While trying to pay, Cha notices the station clerk, Joe, holding a master key and accuses him of being a tow truck driver in disguise. Joe denies it, and Cha drives off without paying, promising to return later. At the airport, sisters Muran and Yora face a dilemma when Yora realizes her passport has expired, preventing them from boarding. Yora lashes out, blaming Muran, who serves as her manager, for the missed opportunity. Sunak, mistaking Yora for a cousin, approaches the sisters, but her husband, Byung-hak, arrives, startling Sunak so much that she nearly steps into traffic. Byung-hak pulls her back just in time, and it's evident that Sunak's mind has begun to fade. The group leaves the airport, eventually finding themselves on a fog-covered bridge outside the city. As most drivers proceed cautiously, a reckless driver in a yellow car films his dangerous antics for social media. Another vehicle, carrying a cage, swerves erratically, forcing Cha to maneuver quickly. Through the window, Kyungmin spots a sad-looking dog in the caged car. Meanwhile, Dr. Yang, being transported to a secret lab, rides with two soldiers in a separate vehicle. A sudden chain of events begins when the yellow car, speeding excessively, slams on the brakes, blocking part of the road. This causes a domino effect of collisions, trapping vehicles in a chaotic pileup. Amid the wreckage, a massive truck tips over, crushing cars together. Drivers and passengers scramble to escape the mounting danger as a police car crashes into a crane on the opposite lane. Back at the gas station, Joe hears about the disaster on the radio and sets off in his truck with his dog, Jody, to find Cha. On the foggy bridge, Cha and Kyungmin witness the unfolding disaster from the safety of the opposite lane. The vehicle carrying the caged dogs passes unscathed, but Dr. Yang's car flips after hitting debris. A flying tire crashes into Cha's car, pushing it against the fence. Soldiers rescue Yang from his flipped vehicle, and as they investigate the caged truck, they find the driver dead and the cage empty. The captain orders an immediate signal blackout on the bridge. Cha, trying to call for help, loses phone service. When he returns to his car, he finds Kyungmin missing. She has wandered off, following a strange noise, and discovers a distressed dog named E9 banging its head against the fence. She tries to calm the animal with food, but Cha arrives just in time to scare it away. Meanwhile, the soldiers inform Yang that the dogs have escaped, and Yang activates a control program on his laptop that can manipulate the animals through embedded chips. Soldiers gear up as the dogs, under the program's influence, launch a radical harm. The soldiers fight back with stun batons, but E9 remains unmoved by the program's commands. The situation worsens when the dogs break free from the cage and start attacking anyone in sight. Chaos reigns as people desperately try to escape the frenzied beasts. Amid the chaos, Cha saves Yang from a dog's vicious harm, and the two, along with Kyungmin, Joe, and Jody, attempt to flee in a damaged car. Explosions and fires erupt, causing further destruction as the group races across the collapsing bridge. Yang reveals the dark truth about Project Silence, explaining that the dogs were originally trained as rescue animals but were repurposed as life-taker by foreign governments. They were being transported to be disposed of due to their uncontrollable nature. As the bridge continues to collapse, the group narrowly escapes multiple explosions, but E9 and the other dogs, now fully unleashed, wreak havoc on the survivors. Amid the destruction, Cha takes charge, misleading the survivors into believing the dogs are simply rabid military animals and that help is on the way. Though skeptical at first, The group follows Cha's lead as they await a rescue that may never come. Joe stumbles upon an abandoned alcohol bottle, quickly swiping it before pulling Cha aside for a private conversation. Demanding his gas money, Joe is caught off guard when Cha offers him a handsome reward and even a medal, on the condition that Joe keeps everything under wraps. Just moments later, a SWAT team descends on the bridge, heading straight for the bus to evacuate survivors, but they report no sightings of the dogs. Cha tries to contact Jung to warn him of the imminent danger, but Jung reassures him that the soldiers will handle the situation. As the group cautiously crosses the bridge, they are horrified by the sight of bodies strewn everywhere. Suddenly, Yang spots a dog darting between the cars, and in a moment of panic, he steps back, accidentally triggering a car alarm. To their shock, a chain reaction of alarms blare all around them. The SWAT team moves forward to investigate, only to be ambushed by the cunning dogs who had deliberately set off the alarms. These intelligent beasts target the soldiers' fire weapons first, causing the weapons to fire wildly, inadvertently injuring innocent bystanders. Amidst the chaos, Miron gets shot in the leg, and Yura heroically shields her sister, using whatever she can find to fend off the dogs. As the soldiers are picked off one by one, Sunak, lost in her confused state, approaches a dog as if it were a pet, only to be attacked and thrown to the ground. A gunshot scares the dog away, but not before Sunak is badly injured. Cha is also confronted by one of the creatures, but manages to fend it off, noticing Joe hiding beneath a car. Meanwhile, Jody's barking catches the dog's attention, giving Joe and Jody just enough time to escape. Kyungmin, struggling to retrieve her mom's book from one of the dogs, refuses to let go until Cha forcibly drags her away. A soldier fired his weapon at the dog before another beast takes the soldier down. Cha, Kyungmin, and the others retreat to the bus, hiding in the luggage compartment. Realizing his radio has fallen, Cha sneaks out, grabbing both the radio and his daughter's bag, along with a flare fire weapon. While waiting inside, Kyungmin watches a video of her mother reading the book to her in a hospital, missing her father's smile. She's interrupted when Yang opens a hatch, leading them to the main section of the bus. Yang reveals a disturbing truth. E9 is the original dog, and all the others are clones. Throughout the experiments, E9 was forced to witness humans unaliving her puppies, and now, her actions are driven by revenge, not simple hunting. Cha finds the remaining survivors huddled together inside a fallen truck. Joe, Jody, the sisters, and an elderly couple. Joe confesses that he has already told them the truth about the dogs, and Sunak is heavily bleeding. Cha lights a flare, shooting it into the sky before contacting Jung, who sees the flames on the security cameras. Cha explains their plan to escape on the bus and requests sniper support to take out the dogs, but Jung refuses, concerned about being seen by the press. Desperate, Cha informs Jung that the survivors know everything, and Jung abruptly cuts off communication. As the group reaches the bus, Kyungmin attempts to open the door, but Jung stops her, fearing that the dogs might enter. With the animals surrounding them, the survivors try to scare them off with the dwindling flames of their torches. However, one dog manages to reach Sunak and bites into her stomach. Byung-hak burns the dog with his torch, but not before it injures Sunak further by grabbing her foot. As the torches begin to die out, Joe resorts to using the alcohol he found earlier, spitting it at the fire to create larger flames that temporarily keep the dogs at bay. Cha, holding the flare fire weapon, nearly shoots Yang but instead fires at the ground, creating a blinding flash that disorients everyone. In the confusion, Kyungmin manages to open the bus door, and the survivors scramble inside. Joe angrily kicks Yang for his lack of assistance. Once inside the bus, the group realizes there are no keys to start it. Joe steps forward, using his master key to get the bus moving. Meanwhile, Jung, feeling the pressure of his crumbling candidacy, receives a message from the minister, allowing him to decide the fate of the survivors. The bus reaches the broken section of the bridge, and Cha tries to reach the SWAT team over the radio, but there is no response. Tensions rise as the group debates their next move, knowing the dogs are still lurking. Kyungmin devises a plan. They will hide in the luggage compartment with a camera. Tragically, Sunak succumbs to her injuries just before the plan can be executed. The dogs eventually enter the bus, and the survivors pull a string to trap them inside. As they emerge from their hiding spot, Byung-hak refuses to leave his wife behind, even as the dogs start to claw their way into the luggage compartment. Byung-hak sacrifices himself to hold the hatch closed, allowing Cha and the others to escape. Jo has to forcibly drag Cha away as he attempts to save Byung-hak. In the aftermath, Cha calls Young, furiously accusing him of orchestrating Project Silence for personal gain. Young laughs, admitting that the project propelled him into his current position. Determined, Cha vows to expose the truth, threatening to release all the evidence to the press if Young doesn't provide medical support for the survivors. The group plans to escape using Joe's truck, but the keys are still inside the bus. Young, searching for his laptop, suggests they lure the dogs back into their cage. Cha, accepting his role in the plan, reads aloud from his late wife's book, using his voice to attract the dogs. Yora, armed with her golf clubs, confesses to Muron that she purposely allowed her passport to expire, fearing the pressure of the tournament. As the dogs grow increasingly agitated, Yora hits golf balls at the bus windows, weakening them enough for the dogs to break through. The beasts rush toward the cage, shaking it violently in their attempt to reach Cha. During the commotion, Joe retrieves the keys from the bus, but to his horror, Yora remains inside, untouched by the dogs because she lacks a control chip. Terrified, Joe races back to the truck, where the others await their escape. The bridge begins to collapse as E9 tries to save the last remaining clone from the wreckage. Vehicles slide into the sea, but the cage gets stuck on the bridge just before falling. As Cha and Kyungmin climb into the cage, Joe drives the truck to safety, dragging the cage behind them through toxic gas and flaming debris. Despite the chaos, the group makes it to the other side of the bridge, where authorities and reporters are waiting. Cha, reunited with his daughter, punches Young in front of the cameras and throws the money at him, exposing the entire project to the public. Meanwhile, on the shore, E9 emerges from the water with her final living clone, staring at the bridge with vengeance in her eyes. And that's the intense, emotional roller coaster of Project Silence. From the harrowing action sequences to the moral dilemmas that leave you questioning who's really in control, this movie doesn't let up until the very end. The film's blend of suspense, political intrigue, and powerful performances truly makes it a must-watch. What did you think of the film? Were you as captivated by the action-packed scenes and complex characters as we were? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more in-depth breakdowns of the latest films. And as always, turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive into the world of cinema.